Hi guys, welcome back to Learn Some More with me. So I figured we could discuss my more full-on routine. I will also do another video on my sort of work routine, like my normal daily routine. So I only do this routine once a month just because if I did it every day it would just stress me out. But if I don't put things into a routine, they won't get done. So this is also I do have routines for everything. Like I have a monthly routine that I do and everything as well, which is just making sure that I sort of keep on top of just little things like my emails, my photos, and all that, just to make sure I get everything done, just because I'm that type of person that just has so much to do and to keep up with and everything. So if I didn't write it down or something, it wouldn't get done. So this is what this is what originally was called my day off routine, because it was just meant to be every day off, but obviously I changed that for obvious reasons. So obviously I spoke about how, to me, waking up in the right way is so important. So when I first wake up, I sort of make sure that I am breathing into like a calm, positive mindset. I like to do some stretches that calm your nervous system as well, and then I get straight up and I go brush my teeth and do my teeth routine, which is basically just your standard brush your teeth, tongue scrape, floss, and I've started using a mist back stick. I'm not gonna lie guys, it's not a myth, it actually does the job, whitens your teeth. So, and obviously it's more like a better way of whitening your teeth than putting products on them. So I also oil pull when I'm in the shower as well, but that's a whole other story. So yeah, and while I do that, I just think of things I'm grateful for, just to sort of get me into that gratitude mindset. Also, by the way, I do change this around depending on my day and how I'm feeling, and sometimes I do like to do meditation as well, whether that's when I first wake up or not. I do also do it in the evening as well, so it's not as vital, but it is obviously good for setting you up for a good day. I can't say I do the sort of meditation where you sit and flick your thoughts away, because maybe I should probably start getting into that, because I know meditation is really good for you, but mine is more putting my thoughts into the right mindset. And then I will read a page or a couple of pages of a self-help book, and then obviously like make my bed, tidy my room, open my curtains, all that stuff. And then I will do my skincare routine and everything, and then I go through my goals and daily reminders, which I did speak about in my last video. And then I like to stand outside, whether that's go for a walk or just simply stand outside, maybe with a cup of tea. I also do like to do like a shake to shake all the sort of tension and like stress out of my body, or I do like to do this jumping routine, which I think by the time this is up will be shown on my TikTok what I mean by that, but it's like a lymphatic drainage. So I've actually written here, have like tea with bone broth and then watch a podcast, and then I have like this shot of aloe vera and apple cider vinegar. I've kind of fallen off that at the moment just because it's not actually that nice, and I didn't really see much of a difference with it, but I know it is beneficial for you. I need to get back into that. And I also have like one of those rollers where I like keep it in the freezer and I roll it on my face in the morning just to depuff my face, because I'd rather that than stick my face in a bowl of ice. Just easier, it's probably more sculpting as well. And then I'll have my breakfast, but also sometimes I don't have that tea before breakfast just because it would fill me up. This is when I was doing fasting, but now I've gone through that idea of fasting on my days at work and then eating within 30 minutes of waking up on my days off, just because fasting is a very taboo topic, to be honest, whether you want to do it or not, whether you think it's beneficial or not. So I just do both, because I think that the actual benefits of it come from the fact that your body isn't used to it. If your body gets used to it, then it's not really fasting. I need to do more research into that, to be honest, but that is very much, it's not like life or death. It really does, it's meant to help your sort of immune system and everything, but yeah, I wouldn't I'm not gonna like fully say this is good, this is bad, because like most things, they are controversial. It can be either or. So I just do both. So yeah, and then I have like a set list of jobs that I do, which this is what kind of differs this routine to my normal routine, because I don't do these every day, because otherwise I just won't have time to do anything else. But yeah, I'll have that with like a decaf coffee. Also with coffee, going in and out of decaf, I can't decide. I'm in decaf at the moment because I noticed while I was at work and I was having coffee, it was making me quite jittery. So sometimes decaf is just the easy option, but I know decaf isn't actually healthy in itself, and coffee does have benefits. So, but I think that is more like actual coffee rather than the coffee that we buy, but I'm not too fussed on that. Everything is good in in certain amounts. Oh my god, there's a full-on saying for that. I can't think, my mind's gone blank. But yeah, so then what I will do is I have a few things that I need to do, which include I'm learning Italian, I go through my emails, I do some like research into like nursing stuff, like medications and all that, just to keep my knowledge topped up, and then just a few other things that I like to check and do. So yeah, and then I will put my wash on, just because again, if I didn't, I do sometimes just do it like on a day to day, but if I probably would I just find it easier to have it in a routine, because then I know that I've got it done. And then I will go to the gym, and while I'm at the gym I will listen to a podcast, and then obviously I have a shower routine of like lymphatic drainage, oil pulling. Like by lymphatic drainage I mean dry brushing. I'll go into that in another video. Because I want to keep these quite short, not so that people aren't like feeling like they need to listen to loads of information. And then when I get home from the gym, I have my lunch, and I like to just sit and eat my lunch with no distractions, no music, no nothing, have a mindful lunch and just sit in my thoughts, because it's actually really good for your digestion. And obviously like you shouldn't really be sat having distractions, you should just have time with yourself. It's a good opportunity to do it, and also it allows me to just sort of make sure I'm eating slower, not rushing my food, because that's also good for your digestion of food. And then I will, because I like to go for a walk, while you're essentially meant to go for a walk after you eat, like just 15 minutes. So what I do there is I will walk to the shops and get my food shop, so then it's sort of killing two birds with one stone. And then what I'll do is, it says jobs of matcha and cinnamon, because cinnamon's really good for you, and obviously so is matcha. And then once that is done, I will make dinner. And then, this is just, again, this is so random to me, but obviously because I like, instead of going for a walk after dinner, because obviously walking outside is quite nice, but especially in winter it's just not that easy. So I love to dance, so I have honestly, if I'm being completely honest, my like dream career in life, I do believe you can do whatever you want in your life, but this wasn't something I ever sort of thought to go ahead with, but would be a backup dancer specifically for Beyonce. So I have learned the entire Beyonce Homecoming. Just sort of go with the flow with that. It's just more just because then it incorporates dancing, and it's like I'm living my dream without living my dream. Yes, and then okay, this is kind of random, but I love stew. I've got a stew cube, and I'll have like, I'll either have, so one thing I do have at work usually is, I never know how to say it, but it's cacao powder. It's sort of like hot chocolate, although I've kind of stopped having that in the evenings just because it's a very good antioxidant, but it's also good for energy, and I think I did find it was actually giving me energy at the wrong time of day. So but it is a good swap for hot chocolate. I think at first when you first have it, it's quite bitter, but I'm quite good at teaching myself to like drinks, and I actually really enjoy it now. But I usually actually have that at work, to be honest. And then I will, if I didn't finish my podcast in the morning or at the gym or whatever, I will finish it while doing some sort of like painting or colouring in, just to sort of calm the mind. And then I will then do my skincare routine and everything. I do the sort of, it's not really a castor oil pack that people go on about. I literally just use castor oil. I use it for my lashes as well, to grow my lashes. And I have like a nice sort of tea, like maybe peppermint tea, dandelion tea, green tea, but usually decaf, obviously. And then I have here take meds, because I have so many meds, like vitamins and stuff at home that I've bought. Like I've actually spent so much money on them that I'm like, I might as well take them now. So I do take them. If you do want me to go into detail on that, I can also discuss that. A lot of it would rather get from meals and food. So yeah. And then what I'll do is I will read my book with the LED mask on my face. I also have here, like, have my legs up. If you lie down and put your legs against the wall, it's really good for reducing stress and bloating as well. But a lot of the time I actually do that in the sauna, so I don't really need to tend to do it, because there's something so uncomfortable reading a book with your legs off the wall and a LED mask on. Yeah. And then I do what are called somatic exercises, or I'll do some yin yoga. It's not really a widely known type of yoga, to be honest. It's not like the yoga you tend to go to. It's more of a one for opening up your hips and releasing the stress and tension and all that. So I tend to do that. Somatic exercises I think it's quite similar. I think I have a few reposts of it on my TikTok, but right at the start, so I don't know, maybe I'll go into that, but I think it's not really my forte. I just sort of partake in it anyway. And then what I'll do is EFT. I don't know if anyone knows what EFT is. It's quite something that's not really well known, I don't think. But what EFT is, it's basically, again, I don't know how to explain the science of it. And I also don't know how true it actually is. I haven't got this from like full on like research studies or anything, to be honest. But it's one of those things where I just thought I might as well try. But it's sort of, I believe, where one thing in life that stops you from proceeding is limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs come about from past experiences, or like how you've grown up and what you've been taught where you grew up and things like that. So for example, say someone tells you you are boring. Okay, it might not be true, but because you might think you're boring, you will probably become boring, blah blah blah. So what you need to do is you need to remove that limiting belief from the experience where someone told you that, and sort of rewire that. So what you sort of do is, I think you're meant to actually say while doing it, just sort of, it's like a way of releasing limiting belief, but you sort of say, I know I think this, but I'd rather, but I don't really do this talking part. I normally just say more positive things and just say, I am this, I am that, blah blah blah, you know, affirmations. But it's basically, you just tap certain parts of you, like here, under your eyes, here, here, under your armpits, and just here, and you just sort of, I don't know. That's a really brief explanation of it, and I know so many people rave about it and do say it has changed their life. I just think, why not? And then what I will do is, I have read a lot about your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind becoming your conscious beliefs. Therefore, one thing I do like to do and do find important is what you think about before you sleep or while you sleep, because that moment when you're in your like tired state is where all your thoughts sort of go into your subconscious mind, which then affects your reality due to your conscious behavior. So I will then make sure I'm thinking of like things I'm grateful for, and I put on a sublingual thing for while I sleep. I don't actually do this every night because just I don't tend to like having things when I sleep just in case it disrupts my sleep. But it is meant to be really good for you, and it would make sense that it's good for you. So I do that. And like I like meditation can help me. Sometimes I just do it myself, but I am also quite, my thoughts do go on to other things. So sometimes it's better to just sort of listen to something and let myself fall asleep to it and listen to it while I sleep. But yeah, so that is what I do once a month, or I try and incorporate as much of that into my daily routine, which I will go into another video. But I hope that helped some of you with ideas. I know a lot of people do like to be in a routine, probably not as intense as that. Also as well, I said that to I showed my mum this, she was like, what the hell? I was like, it's one day of the month and it actually goes a lot quicker than you think. I actually tend to have hours of time in the day, and I'm like, okay, well, what do I do now, because I actually have loads of time. So yeah, but if any of that was inspiring, I hope it somewhat helps you to either inspire you or motivate you into what you can incorporate into your routine.